Hello and welcome again. If this is your first time with us, thank you so much for stopping by. You're listening to Choose to Endure, the show dedicated to the back of the pack runners, where we share stories, interviews, gear, and training tips specific to the tail-end heroes of the Ultra universe. If you haven't had a moment to do so yet, please consider heading over to your favorite podcast app, maybe the one you're listening on right now. Hit follow, rate the show, and if you're on Apple, maybe even leave us a short written review too. My name is Richard Gleave. I've been running Ultra since 2017, and I've taken on and finished numerous distances all the way up through 220 miles, and I am unashamedly a member of the back of the pack, just like you guys. Now, I was recently reading an article, I think it was in Ultra Runner magazine, and it really resonated with me since I struggle quite a bit with the concept. So I did a little additional research, and today I'm going to tackle a topic with you that I think we can all recognize, this optimization craze. So when chasing performance clashes with living life. What do I mean by that? Well, in the world of ultra running, optimization often becomes something of a holy grail. We're out there tweaking our training regimes, refining our diets, and obsessing over the latest gear and technology, all in pursuit of shaving off minutes, seconds, and sometimes hours, pushing farther and performing better. But here's the question that often gets sidelined, I think. At what cost does this relentless pursuit come? Are we paying too high a price for optimal performance? Many of us might have felt the strain. Maybe it's physical, like a nagging injury that won't go away, or sheer exhaustion that no amount of sleep can seemingly cure. Maybe it's mental, that feeling of burnout, where motivation wanes and the joy that once fueled your run begins to flicker out. And let's not forget the social cost either. If you're having to miss family gatherings, leave parties early, strained relationships, just less time in general for living and enjoying life. So how do you find that sweet spot, the balance where you can still pursue your athletic goals without sacrificing the essence of a well-lived life? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to explore some strategies to maintain this balance and ensure that while we're achieving personal bests, we aren't losing ourselves in the process. This episode is going to be for you if you've ever questioned how far to push, how much to give, or how to ensure that your passion for running complements rather than consumes your life. Whether you're an elite athlete eyeing the next 100-miler, or a weekend warrior back-of-the-packer like me who loves hitting the trails, today's discussion is about crafting a running practice that enriches your life rather than extracting from it. So stay tuned as we unravel those questions, maybe more, providing you with insights, advice, and hopefully some suggestions that will not only inspire, but also equip you to run smarter, not just harder. Let's find out how to keep the flame of passion for ultra running alive without burning ourselves out. Join me on this journey to learn how to endure, enjoy, and excel. Are you ready? Well, let's get started.
Discover raw, inspiring stories from runners who've been right where you are. This is the Choose to Endure Ultra Running Podcast with your host.
He's English, not Australian.
Richard Gleave.
So what is this optimization we seek? What are the things that we're constantly looking to optimize? Well, there's a few of them. Typically, it refers to the extensive preparation and meticulous adjustment of a variety of elements in order to help maximize our performance. So this is going to include things like training regimes, nutritional strategies, gear selection, and mental prep, all aligned with the unique demands of ultra-distance events involving varied terrain and environmental conditions. So from a training perspective, we know as ultra runners, we tailor training to develop endurance, strength, and resilience. And this most likely involves a mix of high mileage weeks, speed work, back-to-back long runs, and sometimes significant vertical gain too. Our training plans are often periodized to peak for key races, balancing intense workouts with adequate recovery to prevent overtraining. As far as nutritional strategies go, optimization here focuses on maximizing energy intake efficiently to sustain prolonged physical activity. So we as runners plan our meals to include a mix of carbs, proteins, and fats, or at least we should, strategically consuming food and drink during races and paying close attention to hydration, a key component for maintaining performance and health during long events. Making sure you get the right gear is pivotal too. Depending on the terrain, trail, mountain, or road, runners choose footwear for optimal grip and comfort, alongside clothing and hydration packs that are going to suit weather conditions and personal needs. And then from the mental aspect, mental toughness and psychological endurance are also pretty crucial. Runners use visualization, positive self-talk, and stress reduction practices such as meditation to prepare for the mental challenges of running an ultra. So those are the things that we, generally speaking, look to optimize. But what is the cost of chasing this optimization? Well, from the physical side, at the core of ultra endurance sports lies the risk of physical overuse injury. The relentless pursuit of more miles, more elevation, faster pace, especially if you do it too fast, can lead to stress fractures, tendonitis, and chronic fatigue syndrome. The physiological strain imposed by repeated long-distance efforts can also compromise your immune function, making us as athletes a lot more susceptible to illness and thus further disrupting your training schedule. Psychologically, the pressure to constantly perform at a perceived higher level, whatever that means to you, can lead to burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. We as runners may experience a loss of motivation, decreased satisfaction from achievements, and even depression. The drive to optimize every variable can create an obsessive mindset where personal identity becomes too tightly intertwined with athletic success. On a social level, the time commitment required for ultra training can lead to significant sacrifices in personal relationships. As athletes, we often find ourselves missing social events, having to leave social events early. Family gatherings and quality time with loved ones also tend to take a hit. This isolation can strain relationships, leading to feelings of guilt and conflict. And then there are economic considerations too, I think. The financial impact of pursuing performance in ultra running shouldn't be overlooked. The cost of registration fees, travel to events, specialized diets, and gear can add up really quickly. And for a lot of people, this financial burden is a significant source of stress, particularly for those who have no professional sponsorship to fall back on. So noting what we're chasing in optimization and some of the pitfalls therein, how do we go about actually finding balance? Well, achieving a balanced lifestyle while dedicating yourself still to ultra running seems to demand some level of strategic planning that's going to ensure well-being is prioritized alongside your rigorous training schedule. Here's how I think we can introduce effective strategies for finding that equilibrium. First off, it's crucial to incorporate variety and rest in your training regimen to manage the physical load effectively. So think about engaging in cross-training activities like swimming, cycling, or yoga to enhance cardiovascular fitness while minimizing impact stress on the body. These activities not only prevent common running injuries, but also promote overall fitness. Equally important are planned rest days and lighter recovery periods that allow for both physical repair and mental relief. Giving your body and mind the time to recuperate is essential for sustained performance. Secondly, schedule time off. Just as professional sports leagues have off seasons, ultra runners should also schedule time off from running. This doesn't just mean a day here and there, but potentially weeks or even a month to allow the body and mind to fully recover from the cumulative stress of training and racing. This off-season can be used to engage in different types of physical activity that maintain fitness without the wear and tear of running, or focus on something completely different and unrelated. Mental health is as critical as physical health. We had an episode with Shannon Mick not long ago that talked about this, and it's important to consider mental health as part of your ultra planning. Develop practices that nurture your mental well-being, such as mindful meditation, journaling, or finding and engaging in hobbies that relax and fulfill you outside of running. These activities can provide a necessary mental break from the rigors of training and help maintain a broader identity beyond just being an athlete. It's important to keep a rich social life too, as it can be easy for training to dominate your schedule. This is one I struggle with. Make regular plans that aren't related to running with friends and family, and ensure you're not always, the one that's too busy. Setting boundaries around training times can help ensure that running does not monopolize all personal time, thus maintaining your relationships and helping with social well-being. And sometimes, balancing a training regime with personal happiness and well-being might require professional input. If you have the opportunity, consider engaging with an ultra coach, sports psychologist, nutritionists, or life coaches who can offer tailored advice and strategies, even if it's short-term. These professionals provide not only tools to manage stress and optimize training schedules, but also support systems to maintain overall well-being and address any psychological hurdles. By integrating these strategies, we as ultra runners can strive still for peak performance without sacrificing our mental health and personal happiness. Each element, physical rest, mental health, social life, and professional support, can play a crucial role in creating this balanced, holistic approach to training and living. This comprehensive strategy ensures that we as athletes can enjoy a fulfilling life both on and off the trails. So as we wrap up today's episode on finding balance in the demanding world of ultra running, it's pretty essential to reflect on the intricate dance between pushing your limits and preserving your well-being in order to sustain a healthy relationship with running and not let it dominate and squash our joy. So I ask of you this. Reflect on your current training and life balance. Are there areas where you might be overextending yourself? Could your social life or mental health use more of your attention? Making adjustments in these areas doesn't mean dialing back your ambitions, but rather ensuring that your pursuit of these goals ends up being sustainable and enriching. This balance is what allows us not just to endure, but to thrive, both on the trail and in your everyday life. As you continue on your journey, remember the goal is not merely to survive the rigors of training, but to enjoy a fulfilling life still that complements your athletic endeavors. All right, don't forget to subscribe to the show, get notified each time a new episode comes out, and of course follow, share, and maybe even consider taking 2 minutes to give the show a review. It would be very much appreciated. Doing any of those things really does help with the algorithms, which in turn helps get the word out and helps other runners find the information like this that the show has to share. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at choosetoendure.com as well. So be sure to head over to any of those and check us out, say hello, drop us a message using the new fan mail, which is very cool if you have a moment. That's available right at the top of the show notes. I love getting those interactions. Until next time, remember to run long, run strong, keep choosing to endure, but balance your passion for running with the demands of daily life. Your future self will thank you for the care you invest in yourself today.